welcome you back. You're viewing a live program coming to you from the studios of the National Communications Network. Tomorrow is a national holiday here in Guyana for the observance of Eid-ul-Adha. Is one of the two Eids commemorated by the Muslims. The other Eid is at the end of Ramadan, the month of Ramadan, the festival of Eid-ul-Fitr. This is the second Eid-ul-Adha. I've been joined by His Eminence Maulana Saeed Muhammad Tasdeeq. He's from Bangalore, India. He's been in Guyana a number of years now with his family doing Islamic missionary work. He traces back his descendant to that of the 37th generation of the Prophet, upon whom be peace. Next to him we have our Imam of the Queenstown Jama Masjid, Imam Al-Hajj Shaheed Muhammad, and next to Imam Shaheed we have Brother Neil Bacchus, who's the Secretary of the Muslim Youth League. I want to start with Maulana Saeed Muhammad Tasdeeq to give us maybe just a brief outline. We're going to continue the discussion, we're going to take a few calls, but maybe just a brief outline as to Eid-ul-Adha itself.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. First of all, I extend my greetings to all Muslim brothers and sisters across the world, especially our brothers and sisters in Guyana, and specifically those who are watching us tonight live. This is very important moments. We are waiting to celebrate Eid-ul-Adha tomorrow. You know, the Adha means the sacrifice. We are remembering the sacrifice made by Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam and Prophet Ismail alayhi salam. And that's all about the remembrance of goodness and great sacrifice they made. But we have to reflect. Many years we are celebrating the Eid, and every year we sacrifice plenty of animals. What changes the Eid bringing us, and how we are having progress in our behavior and seeking nearness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Whether our society is benefiting from it or just we are making it a ritualistic way. That's the more important. Inshallah, we discuss tonight some of the point of views we want to put forward here, and we hope that our brothers and sisters will benefit from it. And the Eid, as the Quran mentioned, that about the Qurbani, لَن يَنَالَ اللَّهُ لُحُومَهَا وَلَا دِمَاؤُهَا وَلَكِنْ يَنَالُهُ التَّقْوَى مِنْكُمْ. It's not the flesh and it's not the blood reaches Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's our God consciousness and taqwa and sincerity. Our intention reaches Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No matter you killing ram, sheep, you killing cow, bull, whatever you sacrifice, the intention behind the sacrifice is more important, and the lesson we take out of that sacrifice is more important. We have to constantly seek nearness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and see the significant changes in our behavior. That is the more important lesson from the Eid we have to take, inshallah.
Okay, that's enough to have Maulana would have put forward there for our discussions tonight. Remember, we're going to be with you just about midnight here. Radio and television bring you this simultaneous broadcast. Let's go over now to the guys that have been waiting a little while.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahu, 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 Allah, Allahu, Allahu, La ilaha illallah, Allahu, 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 Allah, Allahu, Allahu, La ilaha illallah, Allahu, 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 Allah, Allahu. illallah. Allahu, 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 Allah. Allahu, la ilaha illallah. Extend your hands to the best of all, to be with him and hear his call. For this I give him both my hand, to seek his help and feel the joy. Allahu, 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 Allah. Allahu, Allahu, la ilaha illallah. Allahu, 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 Allah. Allahu, Allahu, la ilaha illallah. I run from adversities, always to him, to find some light when life is dim. Sinking from the bounties of your hand, to help me adore against my will. Allahu, 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 Allah. Allahu, Allahu, la ilaha illallah. Allahu, 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 Allah. Allahu, Allahu, la ilaha illallah.
MashaAllah, beautifully done. I say tonight you're going to be in for a treat. This is the first time this group is performing live on television here for the whole of Guyana, more so NCN. We're very privileged to have them here in the studio. Before I go to Imam Shaheed, I'm coming to you, Neil Bacchus.
Thank you, Brother Ray. My dear respected viewers, and I greet you in the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. Indeed, we give praise and thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving us this opportunity to once again witness another Eid. Maulana just talked about the sacrifice and about sincerity, but one of the things we as Muslims are very proud about is the revelation of the Holy Quran, which, as we all know, has came as a guidance to all mankind, not only to the Muslim, to all mankind. And one thing we look at in terms of how it is there to guide us is the stories in the book. And tomorrow, the sacrifice, if there's one lesson we can reflect and learn from it, is this term called obedience. Obedience, something that is lacking today in our society. When Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam was asked to sacrifice his beloved son, out of his obedience and love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and of course Prophet Ismail also, his belief and his love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they hastened to obey the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Today in our society, how much of us pay attention to what we have to do in terms of our obligation to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, even obligation to our own self and to our own within our own home? That is something seriously lacking. So tomorrow, I sincerely hope as we spend our day celebrating and commemorating, we take this lesson of obedience and reflect that if this great prophet who was so obedient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what is our place today in society in terms of obedience? And hopefully in terms of noting that sacrifice, and it can dawn upon us that we have a lot of work to do in terms of being obedient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
We've heard from Maulana, we heard from Neil. It's time to hear from our Imam.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Sister and brothers, dear, Assalamu alaikum. Peace be unto all of you. We thank you for viewing our program. I think we hope that you will learn something from this little program here that benefit mankind. I would like to base my little advice of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam about the values of Qurbani. He was asked, what do we get from Qurbani? You know Ghanai's language. Why is it I'm going to do Qurbani for? What will I get from doing Qurbani? And he says, every hear the animal, you have certain sins you erase from your body. And there will come a day whereby Every time you say or pray, we have a verse called Malik Yawmuddin, Malik Yawmuddin, Malik Yawmuddin. Repeat because I'll emphasize. There will come a day in all mankind's life. We have a Sirat, a bridge to cross over the hellfire. And we advise this animal that we are sacrificing, all the years that we are doing it, they'll become one big animal then for us. Help us to cross this Sirat. Cross it as fast as lightning. So we not fall down then in that pit of hellfire. So what I'm saying is, if you don't know what you're searching for, you will never find it. If someone searched, but he left home not know what is it he want, you're looking for, he'll never find it. We're looking for some help from Mighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he says, in actual fact, give me something of your wealth. Spend some money in my cause then. But I don't want it. I don't need your money. Do the sacrifice, take a part of animal for yourself, and give 2/3 away for your relatives, your friends, your neighbors, all of you. Because mankind is one body people. We are all brothers and sisters. And I would like to advise myself and you that one day we advise that Ibrahim, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, bless him, ask Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, show me how you raise the dead. When someone dies, he's going to be raised up a judgment. How do you raise the dead after so many years and centuries? So you ask him, you disbelieve? He says, no, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I'm a believer, I'm your friend, I believe, but I would like to just see it is. Give me the chance to see it is. So he says, take 4 birds, kill these 4 birds, smash them up, and divide them in 4 hills. You call them back to you. You will see what's going to happen. So he killed these 4 birds, smashed them up, and placed them in 4 hills. And he called them, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala show him, these dead birds smashed, come back, and live again, and they fly again. And then he was asked that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, show me how the angel of death came to him. He said, show me how you look when you take the life of somebody who is obedient to Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Get the benefits of Qurbani, all these things. Show me how you look. And he saw happy, tranquil, beautiful, friendly. And he was happy. Then he says, show me how you look when you take the life of a disbeliever who don't believe in Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, believe in the prophets, believe in Judgment Day. Show me how you look. He said you can't take it, You sure you want to see? Angel said you can't take it. He says, okay, give me, try me then. So he says, close your eyes. Now imagine someone bring you back into this position. Close your eyes. You expect the worst. To happen. You close your eyes. Then he said, open your eyes. When you open your eyes, he faint away. He didn't expect to see such a disaster, cruel, somebody there to take his life. So we learn all these things, that the benefit of the Qurbani not only assists us. Allah says, min kawalaka, from you to you, not from me to you. It belongs to you. So part of the Qurbani is Allah is giving us a chance to repeat what took place Ibrahim time, Ismail time. They immorted, but just our point here now. The Almighty Allah wants us to believe in the hereafter. There will come a day all of us have to leave this life. No matter how healthy, wealthy we are, there will come a day Malik Ahmad will come and take our life. We want to take our life in a happy state, not a disaster state. These are all teachings of the religion. So back to the point, part of the benefits of spending wealth to sacrifice the animal for Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's sake is because we want to have that benefit of Pulsirat. We don't want to go to the hellfire. There's a place called Jannah and Jahannam. We don't go to Jahannam. So there are more benefits we hear about in tomorrow in different programs. But the point I'm going to make, sister and brother, is that all mankind should accept the gift Allah gave to Ibrahim. There is a place called heaven. You know what he sacrificed instead of his son? Mm-hmm. He was told, and that sacrifice the best what you have for you. He said, what is the best? Then he was told in a dream, sacrifice your son. And he saw the dream 3 times. A dream to a prophet is like revelation. So he went and fast forward. He told his son, My son, I saw in a dream, I'm sacrificed. What do you say? What the matter? Well, this child is the obedient child, Almighty Allah, Ismail, Allah bless him. He says, my father, do what you want to do. But don't make me and bug you. Tie my eyes, bind me then properly. So I won't make any kind of movement to stop you from practicing. And when they place the knife refused to cut. You know why your knife refused to cut? Because Allah tried Ibrahim to see how he's going to obey his order. So we should be like Ibrahim. What Allah says to do, we must do. And Allah sent a ram, let's say call it a sheep then, from Jannah as a gift. As a gift. Adha also means gift. Hadi, Huda, has the word gift. That the gift given by Sulaiman to give the Queen of Sheba. And the gift Allah gave Prophet Ibrahim to sacrifice instead of his son was a sheep or a ram. So they tell us there is a place called heaven waiting for all mankind, also Jahannam. So the Pulsarad waiting there for us, the animals, how many years that we sacrifice for Almighty Allah's sake, will come to become one beautiful animal to help us across the Pulsarad. My point is, sisters and brothers, mankind, believe Allah loves us. He wants us to know about this last day of our life. How shall we lead this life? With a happy angel or a trunk or disaster angel? That choice is in our hands. That part of the Qurbani. Assalamu alaikum wa barakatuh.
Let's go back to you, Maulana. You started the discussion, but I want to bring you around before you continue your part. If you can walk us through, Imam walk us through in terms of Ibrahim, the story of Ishmael. Right now, pilgrims are making the Hajj. What are the lessons in there for us?
Before I discuss about the Hajj, I want to clarify two things, because many people, they were asking the questions since this afternoon and receiving many messages, and I want to clarify that how the misunderstanding they should remove. About the fasting, they said fasting, is it fasting recommended tomorrow? People are asking. In fact, the fasting recommended on 9th of Zulhijjah, which was what?
Today.
We fast today. But tomorrow we cannot fast. Tomorrow fasting is haram. It's Eid-ul-Adha, Eid-ul-Fitr, we cannot fast. So fasting on 9th is strongly recommended, not on 10th, not tomorrow.
But could you fast before the animal is sacrificed?
You not really fast, just abstain from food.
You abstain.
Fasting means what? Meaning you make intention the whole day you fast like Ramadan.
Okay.
Fasting means that one. So that is not a fasting.
Because I raise this point to clarify. I think the older people would have waited, I think, until the animal is sacrificed.
Yeah. It is
And then they
good
take
to,
a piece of the
it's good to
liver.
start with the Qurbani meat.
Yeah.
Eat something from the Qurbani. That's the recommended things, right?
Okay.
But the fasting, which is prescribed, like in the month of Ramadan, like we fast in different days. So tomorrow we cannot fast. That is one point. Another point, Imam said that about the Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam, he dreamed 3 nights and then he fulfilled his dream. So there are many who may think that, oh, if we dream, we have to fulfill the same thing. This is very important. The dream, it depends who is dreaming and when is dreaming, what you're dreaming. It has its own interpretation. We cannot take our, like an ordinary person, dream as a proof and act accordingly. We can't do that. Prophets and infallibles, the great personalities, if the dream means one of the source of revelation, like a kind of revelation, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala send the messages through different methods. One of the method to the prophets is a dream. So not for us, the ordinary person. If we dream, it has its own interpretation. We need to go to someone reliable so they can interpret it and we can act accordingly. But it's a maybe source of information, but we cannot act according to our own dreams. Now the Hajj. MashaAllah, tomorrow our millions of brothers and sisters from across the world, they are in Mina. They go to Mina and they make the sacrifice, they pelt the pebbles to Shaitan. And each and every act in Hajj having its own philosophy behind it. If we are not understanding the philosophy behind the actions, then it becomes a ritualistic way. Then it may not benefit that much. Allah may grant some rewards, that's a different issue. Allah is merciful, and whatever we do, Allah will grant something. But if we pay attention to the philosophy behind our actions, then only we can benefit from our actions. all about, in conclusion, I can say, all Hajj is all about actions of a family, if you pay attention. Prophet Ibrahim, Lady Hajira, Prophet Ishmael, the actions of this family, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made Hajj out of it. The sacrifice they made, the sa'i, I mean their efforts. Lady Hajira coming from Safa mountain, Safa to Marwa, and from Marwa to Safa, just to in quench of in search of water. That became obligatory as a sa'i we do. It gives a very important lesson that family is very important in Islamic perspective. In Quranic point of view, family is very important. We have to maintain the family structure strong. Now we are facing lots of problem in many countries, especially in our country. Separation, divorce. It shows that we are going towards selfishness. If we getting married to someone, the marriage itself tells that you have to be tolerant. You cannot expect your partner to be exactly what you want. You cannot expect that. You have to tolerate. You have to improve your tolerance and sacrifice. That's the, once you say that, I heard many who say, oh, this is yours, this is mine. So once you get married, there is no meaning of yours and mine. It's ours. So everything belongs to us, is ours. So then we can strengthen the family structure. So the father has to play his role, and the mother has to play her role, and the children has to play their role, and then they can strengthen their family. And once you make your family strong enough, the whole society will benefit from it. The crime rate will come automatically down, and you see everybody enjoying with being in that society. So most of the problems we can solve taking lesson from tomorrow, like the Hajj and the Qurbani. The actions of a mother, the actions of a father, the actions of a son, their obedience, their loyalty to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, those actions Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loved so much that it became the obligatory part for entire Muslims until the day of judgment. You have to do it exactly what they did. So we remember their sacrifice, we remember their obedience, we remember their loyalty to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we have to promote it within ourselves. It doesn't make sense that we remember their actions, we remember their sacrifices, their obedience, and we don't care about what we do. We don't take any lesson in our practical life. Then it becomes ritualistic, as I said, and it won't benefit in our society. So once we want to benefit from what we do, and we have to ponder and reflect upon the philosophy behind our actions, then only we can benefit from it, and then we see the society will be reach to the fruits they will enjoy with it, and then you see the entire community will benefit from it. That's the major lesson from the Hajj. Normally, some of the actions in Hajj, you cannot understand the philosophy behind it. It's not so easy. Like once you wear the ihram, you have to remove all your clothing. You wear 2 pieces of cloths. Like there is a border.
That's for the male.
For the male, yeah. For the male, it's a miqat. We have miqat, means that's the border of haram. Once you enter, you cannot enter without having ihram. See, once you make the 2 pieces of cloth for the male, and for female, same dress, but they cannot hide their face, right? Now, certain things become haram for them. That is we call ihram, meaning you cannot do certain things. You have to avoid. Like you cannot look on the mirror, you cannot smell the good fragrance, you cannot avoid the bad smell. And these are the things. You cannot kill any animal, even an ant. The mosquito you cannot kill. That is a sacred place. You cannot kill anyone, you cannot harm anyone, you cannot debate unnecessarily. These things are restrictions. What it shows, you go like maybe one day or 2 days, and then for the Hajj, for 5 days, you put restrictions upon yourself. It means a training. You always be conscious that, oh, I should not do this, I should not do that, I should not. It means what? You got training. That whatever I do, before that I have to think, is it allowed or not? Is it permissible or not? If it is permissible, then I go ahead. If not, I avoid. That is obedient. So you got the training. So when you come back, that's why we have a hadith from our Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam that once a person go to Hajj and come back from Hajj, It's like he is a newly born from his mother's womb, meaning all his past sins forgiven. When we see many people, they go and come back, they do the same thing what they used to do before. So this hadith is not referring to those people. Once you benefit from your actions, once you get the training and you have to repent truly that I don't do what I used to do before, then only you become Haji. Otherwise you just go and come back, you carry the title of Haji and you do the same thing what you used to do before. It doesn't make any sense. That is the lesson of the Hajj. Unfortunately, the majority is not paying attention, not reflecting on the philosophy behind the actions of the Hajj, and we are facing the same problems in our society, and it's supposed to change significantly. 3 million people go to Hajj and come back. These 3 million should change another 3 million. So we see not significant changes in our Muslim societies that we need to reflect, especially tomorrow. All brothers and sisters, Muslim brothers and sisters, should reflect that where we are going and where we're supposed to go. That's the lesson of the
You know, there's one thing that I want to bring you back. When pilgrims go to Hajj, and Imam Shaheed has been there several times, the tour guides and persons who arrange these trips, they would use this nexus to say as well, because you at Hajj, and you refer to it just now, Maulana, you know, your mind is pure, you're thinking only for Allah, and so on. You're there at the Kaaba and so on, and you're there, Labbaik, Allahumma Labbaik, you hear at Allah will and invitation. So anything happened, they will say you're not supposed to complain. You complaining is like if your Hajj is not going to be accepted. So you have to accept maybe what they're offering. So how do you how do you balance out that?
In fact, you're not supposed to complain means you're not supposed to open up the argument for the little things, for the dunya. And you see, the Hajj is all about sacrifice. Like 3 million people at the time they are in Mina, definitely you need to have some adjustment, you know. Like some old persons, they are walking with their little bag at the back and they can't make it. So you are young and strong enough and you just watching and not, intending to help that person. It means, what is your Hajj? This is the Hajj. Like somebody, see, if you all, like maybe one of the things we face there, like the lack of toilets, like less toilets we have, and remember the people who go is huge. It's not compatible. So then you have to sacrifice there. You have to show your actions, your ethics, your behavior there. You be sacrificing there, and you be like tolerance, show your maximum amount of tolerance. That is all about Hajj. If you be selfish there, being in that sacred land, and you start complaining about little things, that's the referring to. You're not supposed to pay more attention to the material things there, and you have to promote the sacrifice and spirituality. But it doesn't mean that what they do, like the guides and whoever the responsible for it, they should not. They should just oppress the Hajis, and they don't pay attention to their actions. It doesn't mean that. So they have to pay attention to the services they are giving to the Hajis up to maximum level, and if something happen little, without any intention, they may have some mistakes, the Hajis should ignore. That's how we can.
Maulana, take a break here. I want to come back, but the phone is going, so I want to also take this call. Assalamu alaikum to you.
Good night, sir.
Good night. Okay.
I am concerned Guyanese. I want to wish all of you a Eid-ul-Adha, but what is your view on what ISIS is doing all over the world right now and murdering innocent people and so? I just want to know because.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for calling. I tell you what, even though it's not a discussion for that, I would entertain it because I think there's a lot of misconception in terms of the Muslims and maybe overall in terms of the identity. And the best person, because I have him here with us tonight, I'm going to ask our Maulana to address.
Very simple, my brother. We have a Muslim, we have a Islam. Islam means the constitution of God, right, for mankind. which is Quran and which is Hadith, and these are the Islam. We have a Muslim, a person, like it is haram for a Muslim to involve in alcohol and drink alcohol. This is the haram for the Muslim. If some Muslim brother or some Muslims, God forbid, they drink, it doesn't mean that Islam permits them. That's the misunderstanding, unfortunately, we have. Like very many things we have in Hinduism, it is prohibited, but some Hindus are doing it. Many things prohibited in Christianity, and some Christians are doing it. We're not supposed to blame Christianity or Hinduism or any religion. See, it goes to the person who not fulfilling the responsibility towards his religion. So we have to blame the person, not to, like, unfortunately, these double standards is there in media, you know. If a Hindu commits a murder or like a blast somewhere, we don't blame Hinduism. We blame like the person. If a Christian does something wrong, we don't blame the Christianity. We just pay attention to that person alone. But if some Muslim does something wrong somewhere, we straight away go, oh, this is Islam. Islam, the root word is silm, which promotes the peace. So how come Islam permits a person to kill someone? We have restriction. You cannot cut a tree without a reason. You cannot harm animals. If you can keep the birds or animals and make them be comfortable with you, you keep them. If you cannot maintain, leave them, free them. This is the Islam. So if a Muslim doing wrong, then don't blame Islam at all. Now the ISIL, ISIS, whatever you name it, whoever commits wrong is wrong. Wrong is wrong. Whether committed by me or you or anyone, whatever name they carry. See, if I do many wrong actions and label it with Islam, it doesn't mean that it is allowed. No. Unfortunately, the lack of information, lack of knowledge, there are some hands also working behind it, and for their own profits, for own benefits, you know, for their own sake, they're doing it, and unfortunately they're misusing the situation of the Muslims in Middle East especially, and the other Muslim countries. And we have, that's one of the reason we commemorate and celebrate the Eid and the other Islamic events, to reflect what is the message of Islam and how Muslims supposed to be. So this is a very important issue, that we sacrifice an animal, you're not sacrifice another human being. You're not allowed to kill another human being just like animals. That is not Islam. You killing another Muslim, and once you kill another Muslim, you shout Allahu Akbar. Allah won't accept this from you. So there are some hands. I don't think all of them who are doing this are Muslims, you know. Like Boko Haram, one of my friends was there. He did the thorough research on this group, and he wrote things about them, and he said most of the members of Boko Haram are not Muslims. What you name it. People are coming, entering, and using the Muslim name to harm the Islamic society. And it is very easy to understand that. Go to the Islamic teachings, whether if it is permitted, what they're doing, consider them as an Islamic society or Islamic organization. If they are not doing as per the Islamic teachings, then reject them. We have a hadith which says that if you listen to someone naming that Rasulullah said this as a hadith, compare that hadith with Quranic contents. If it suits, take it, accept it. If it contradicts, reject it. Meaning what? So Quran is base. So Islamic teachings are the base. So if I am not compatible with Islamic teachings, I should not label my actions with the Islamic name. If I am labeling it, people should understand that I am not perfect Muslim. So that's the confusion we have in our media and unfortunately in our minds, that whatever the actions done by a Muslim, we suddenly blame Islam. So Islam is something and Muslim is something different. Though Muslim means the one who totally submit to the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But we have Muslim with the name and we have Muslim with the actions. So we prefer the Muslims with the actions. We hope that this Eid brings us some lesson that we can change ourselves, change our family, our society, and entire Muslim brethren across the world, inshallah.
Imam, I'll come to you. Well, maybe I better come now. Time is really going to. So.
Very thanks. My last advice is this is the last month of the year, and this is like a training ground. Before the new year comes around, clean our slate. Like I did Maulana just now, before the new year start really. clean our slate and begin a new year with the way Allah wants us to live.
Love. Maulana, we want to wrap it up here. Time is going. What would be your final message out there?
The final message I want to mention here in this program is focus more on philosophy behind what you do, the actions, like offering you offering the prayers. Tomorrow, the special prayer of Eid. You listening to the khutbah. You sacrificing, and you meet your friends and your neighbors and your relatives. In all actions you do, keep Allah in your mind. What you're doing is under scrutiny, meaning Allah is watching what your actions are. So if you are pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, definitely you get blessings. We cannot even describe how much. That's the main thing we need to, before we do anything, before we talk, before we, our actions, we have to think that we are Muslims and we have to fulfill our responsibilities and we have to do what is permissible and we have to avoid what is not permitted. That's the main thing we have to focus. Once we focus that, what we call every Friday, we listen to ittaqullah, God consciousness, be pious. That piety is all about this. We care what we do. Before we do, we think that is it permitted or not. Once it is permitted, we do it. If not, we avoid it. That's the only thing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants from us. And alhamdulillah, the Eid, mashallah, our brothers and sisters celebrate in a good, appropriate way. They go to centers, they listen to the khutbah, they take the advisors, and now mashallah, they meet Qurbani here, even Muslims and non-Muslims, everybody take part of it. And here in this country is a multicultural, multi-social, the country, we benefit from each other. We participate in each other's events, and we don't have such things, what is happening in other countries. We have to keep it up. We have to be tolerant. We have to promote this unity. Alhamdulillah, by this we can invite our non-Muslim brothers and sisters towards Islam, our message. If they like it, they may embrace it. That's the best message we can do tomorrow.
Okay.